Hey y'all, I have another poem for you today. It's by a poet named Craig Arnold. This poem is called Meditation on a Grapefruit. To wake when all is possible, before the agitations of the day have gripped you. To come to the kitchen and peel a little basketball for breakfast. To tear the husk like cotton padding, a cloud of oil misting out of its pinprick pores, clean and sharp as pepper. To ease each pale pink section out of its case so carefully, without breaking a single pearly cell. To slide each piece into a cold blue china bowl, the juice pooling until the whole fruit is divided from its skin, and only then to eat so sweet a discipline, precisely pointless, a devout involvement of the hands and senses, a pause, a little emptiness. Each year harder to live within, each year harder to live without. It's a great poem. It's again another one that's just kind of very pleasing to say. There's lots of little subtle consonant kind of echoes and parallels that run throughout it. And only then to eat so sweet a discipline, precisely pointless. Lots of really just lovely lines, but the thing that I like most about it, I tend to gravitate towards these types of poems. I think poems that are kind of about what Marilyn Robinson calls the miracle of sheer existence. Poems that kind of take everyday mundane realities and then investigate them so thoroughly until they reveal themselves to be miraculous, kind of like Jacob wrestling with the angel until the angel blesses him. Poems like this are like that to me. They're kind of wrestling with something so mundane until it turns out to be a blessing to us. And this one to me just seemed like a good one for the moment that we're in, right? We're all stuck in our houses still. We are swimming in kind of mundane routine realities, like eating the same thing for breakfast again. And for us to consider or to even look for the ways in which those types of moments can hold within them beauty, that sheer existence is itself a miracle. Another line I love is just right at the beginning, to wake when all is possible before the agitations of the day have gripped you. I've been trying this new thing not very successfully, I have to say, but on days that I do manage it, it's very nice. I try not to check my phone until after I've eaten breakfast, or at least until after I've made coffee. The phone is the device that contains within it all sorts of agitations that are waiting to grip me. And I think if I can hold those at bay for a little bit longer, then I find myself to be much more open to the miracles around us, to a sense of life in which all is possible. But again, the poem turns at the end again, has that kind of coupling at the end. He says, each year harder to live within, each year harder to live without. And at that moment, the poem it goes from being this hyper kind of zoomed in thing to then kind of being this huge macro zoomed out thing. A kind of cosmic look on this minuscule moment. And what I read that to say, each year harder to live within, is saying each year that goes on as we continue to mature and continue to age, it becomes harder and harder for us to recognize these mundane realities as beautiful. That it requires so sweet a discipline. It requires discipline, it requires a training of our eyes that becomes harder the older and older that we get. But then the second line, or the last line, each year harder to live without, as it continues to get more difficult, it is then all the more necessary. It is one of the best tools that we have to cope with the hard realities of life, is to cultivate a discipline of recognizing the beautiful things in the everyday. So those are my thoughts. That poem comes from this collection that's edited by Christian Wyman, the poet that I shared recently. And it's a lovely collection. It's a collection that is just custom made for a moment like right now. It feels like I'll probably share some more poems from that collection later on, but I commend it to you. And so that's it. That's all I have for today, for today's Pass the Peace project. It's been super fun to see y'all's contributions and what's bringing you joy, what's bringing you connection in these isolating times, connection both to God and to our neighbors. So great to see you, great to be with you in whatever way we're able to be today. All right, peace.